Hello, Southwest Florida. You are tuning in to Divine Destiny Radio Show. I'm your host, Lady J. And I have in the house, come on now.
This is your girl, Trella Bella. How you doing, Southwest Florida?
And this is Angie B. Welcome.
All right. But we just want to jump right in. We have a lot of shout outs that we received, and we were so excited. We want to define, as we always do, father. And as I was reading the definition of father, parent as well, and as well as Father's Day. So, Trella Bella, can you read those for us real quick?
Okay, definitely. A father is defined as a male parent of any type of offspring. The adjective paternal refers to father, parallel to maternal for mother. The verb to father means to procreate or reproduce a child. Now, as far as a parent, it's defined as one that begets or brings forth offspring. A parent who brings up and cares for another. Well, a parent pretty much is defined as someone that raises and nurtures.
Amen. Well, give us Father's Day.
All right. Father's Day is a celebration honoring fathers and celebrating fatherhood, paternal bonds, and the influence of fathers in society. It is celebrated on the third Sunday of June in many countries and on other days elsewhere. It complements Mother's Day, the celebration honoring mothers.
Now, I want to ask you guys, either one of you guys, when you think of a father, you know, what's the first thing that comes to your mind?
For me, the first word that pops into my mind is strong, strength. A father figure to me is someone who is a protector, and of course they do nurture, but I don't know, a provider. I was always raised with the man, the father is the head of the household, and he protects and takes care of the rest of the house. I mean, mother, she does her part, definitely does her nurturing and everything, but as for the father, he is the head. Before mother makes any decisions or does anything, she goes to her head first, or goes to the head first, and then you know, they come together and discuss it. And then a decision is brought forth.
Ooh, that has gotten totally out of line. But anyway, go ahead, Angie.
Well, the first thing that kind of came to me is a covering. And though I haven't, my dad died when I was 6, so I didn't have the relationship. I didn't have the fatherly relationship. But God has blessed me with a spiritual father who has pretty much stepped into the role of being a father. Be it advice, be it finances, whatever it is that I need, I know he's willing to step up to the plate. And I thank God for that. But a covering, somebody that gives counsel, advice, who's going to keep it real. Help you make the decisions in life that are going to be to your benefit, to your advantage. So not having you to recreate or duplicate choices that are bringing harm into your life. Because if you go to them for counsel and it's continuously the same issues that are being researched, okay, bring some attention to where is this pattern? Somebody that can break the cycle, break the pattern. And that's what my spiritual father, you know, he does. He's just like, okay, why does this one thing keep resurfacing? You know, what's going on here? So we need to sit down and figure out where the issues lie. So somebody that's going to give you that wisdom, that advice that you wouldn't otherwise have. So that's...
Amen. I know the same for me. My father was not, he was not a, how you want to say it? Not very verbal. My mom was always the verbal one. But I saw my father as being a provider. I saw him as being strong. I saw him as being a protector in that sense. But a lot of everything else, you know, I kind of saw in mom. But what I respected the strength in him. I respected the fact that he could talk trash and nobody wouldn't touch him. My husband said that's where I get my mouth from. Because my dad, I'm telling you, he can talk trash. And I mean, you can say one thing and he always has to have the last word. And but I love the fact that, you know, so many people, as I was growing up, respected him. You know, and I would be with him and you know, everybody used to tell me you should have been a boy, you know, because you always with your dad. You know, out of 5 kids, I was the only one with freckles, you know, in my face. My dad has freckles all over. And it's just something about the strength in him. I mean, I used to watch him drive, even his hands. You know, he worked out doing logging. You know, we're from North Carolina, so to see even the roughness in his hands, you know, to me that was a sign of a man that, you know, you know, he's supposed to have callous hands when our hands are supposed to be soft. And I mean, and as a little girl, I watched everything, the way he used to walk. He had the coolest walk to me, you know, and I would admire those things about him. So definitely for me, it's that strength, that protection. And I can't really say, I mean, I know that it's important for a father to be there, to be that one, to give that counsel. But my mom was more of that end. You know, I guess that goes into the whole marriage aspect of it. Is in some are stronger in some areas than not.
Right.
But mom had to step in. But you know, daddy didn't play. You know, daddy said one word, mom said about 5 or 6. You know what I mean? So I definitely see the same thing. So I mean, people are different. Fathers are different. They're raised different as well. So we're going to go right into Exodus 20 and 12. Angie, if you could read that for me.
Sure. Again, Exodus chapter 20, verse 12 says, honor your father and your mother, so that you may live long in the land, and the Lord your God is giving you. That the Lord your God has given you, that you may dwell long in the land. So,
I just want to be able to, for each one of us to reflect back on a special father moment. And for you, I got some tissue right here now. I had other boxes at home. This got the lotion in it now, so go ahead.
My biggest quarrel right now is like which daddy to talk about, because I got so many, and I will never front. I have been blessed in that area to where I have my grandfather, I have my biological father, I have my stepfather, I have a godfather. You know, so I was always in that, and you know, the stories never changed. You know, this one, you know, was a duplication of that one and that one. I mean, they all have their own little quirks or whatever. Yes. But they all showed me what, you know, my definition of, and it lines up right along with the word from from my research. But uncles, always there for me. So when you ask for one special moment, it is so hard because I have something for everybody.
You have nobody coming to the station trying to fight us
now. No. But my grandfather, I'll pick my grandfather because he's been there forever. He's just exactly. And y'all met my grandfather. He's not a big talker, but whatever he says, it could be so simple, but like Pastor Jeffrey says, simply profound. And but he is also just like my grandma, he's an undercover goofball. Like, so he might not say anything, but he have the one-liners that'll catch you. Like, he likes to crush people. I'm gonna just go ahead and put it on the air. Those of y'all that know Deacon Lionel, he likes to play his own little dozens or whatever. But I remember it was one time back in elementary school, my grandma. Let me retract that. I had to go get my hair cut. And at the time, I had to get a Jerry curl.
Wow. We need a photo.
No, ma'am.
I had a Jerry curl too. I had a carefree curl. I ain't put that much activated in it over.
So I had to get a curl, and like I was just like, man, I'm too young for this. I don't want no curls. She done made me cut my hair, and I'm all pouting and stuff. And my granddaddy was like, what you do to your head? And I'm like, granddaddy, you do that? He like, oh. And I'm thinking he gonna say something like, you know what, it looks nice or whatever. He was like, girl, I got more hair on the back of my knee than you got on your head.
And that's a special moment, Charlie.
That's a special moment to me because like now I can think about that, and I just he is a clown. My grandfather is a clown, but he is certainly one of the most wise. He's the wisest man that I know.
Did you cry?
But yeah, I cried then. Then, like, and a couple of hours later, I sat back and thought about it. I was like, he's silly, and I just started laughing. And I guess that was the point. He wanted to make me laugh, but it just wasn't working at that time. But he's like my husband. I can think about it now, like years and years later, and still laugh at that.
But I would say, as a grown woman, one of the most special times is when I got a call and I was told that basically he was on his deathbed, and he has prostate cancer, and so he's been battling it for 2.5 years now, and he's doing very well. And I remember, I mean, because the way they told me on the phone was as if, you know, this is it, you know, you better get here as fast as you can. And so, you know, you get going and, you know, getting everybody together, and it's like a 12-hour drive, actually more than 12 hours, because he wasn't in the city that that he lives in. They had to fly him to another city. So I went to where he was, and I remember getting closer and closer. My heart was beating so fast. And I just kept saying, Lord, just let him live until I get there. Let him live until I get there. Just let him live. And I remember, and I've been home at least 5 or 6 times, you know, not as serious, but where he's been in the hospital and I drop everything and go. But this one was like, okay, this could be it. And I walked in the hospital room, and I never forget it. He had all these tubes everywhere and a tube in his neck. And his face was just like shaking, like uncontrollable, like tremors. And I'm looking at him, and even the bottom of his mouth, it was kind of like an underbite. You know, his mouth is normally not like that. And so it was like he was totally out. And I remember walking up. When I saw him, I had to turn around because I couldn't take it. Because to me, he looked like he was dead. And so I turned around, and my husband grabbed me. He just hugged me. I just stood there. I had to cry for a minute. And I pulled myself back together. I walked back in the room. And I walked up to him, and I said, Daddy, he would move. You know, I mean, he had the same shakes, but, you know, he was just laying there. And so his eyes opened, but it was like, you know, someone looking at you, but he doesn't see you.
Right.
And I'm talking to him, but his eyes would not move. They didn't shift from left to right. And I remember putting my hand in his hand, and I said, Daddy, this is Misha. I said, all right. I said, if you can hear me, squeeze my hand. He squeezed my hand, and a tear came down his face. Oh, my God. You talking about that was the most special moment to me. And that moment right there, I would never take that back, because it's like, oh, my God, somebody's here. You know, I could be dying, and nobody's here. You know, he's away from home. And it was a beautiful, beautiful moment for me. And now to hear him on the phone talking about God, and you know, we talking about all the scriptures and stuff, you know, and I'm just like so excited. So that was a very special moment, because I prayed over him, and I asked him if he knew, you know, Christ, and, you know, and I didn't know if he was hearing me, you know, past that. You know, and the enemy, the first thing he'll tell you is, oh, that was just a fluke, you know, it just happened, you happened to be at the right time. But that was my very special moment. So I'm going to let you share yours now, because you know me, I get emotional. I love you, Daddy. Go ahead.
I really don't have a lot of, I mean, like the majority of my childhood was distant. Like all of my male relatives were up north, and we didn't get to see them that often. So I don't have a lot of male memories or anything like that. So I don't have anything.
Aww.
Yeah, I don't have anything, so.
Oh, that makes my heart sad.
Yeah, mine too.
Oh,
Sorry. We cut Gabriel a little short. He wanted to send out a happy Father's Day shout out to his mother,
that's
and
right,
his uncle, and to himself. So, Gabriel.
Amen, amen. You know, and that's what we need to do too. That's right. We want to shout out to all the single moms that you're truly out there doing it by yourself.
Definitely.
You know, you may not be with the father if he's in, you know, in he's still coming and doing what he's supposed to do. You know, that's great. But for those that are doing it truly by yourself, you know, no help, you know, dad is not around, you know, we want to say happy Father's Day to you too. You get a double portion.
Happy Father's Day, Martha Bryant.
Amen, amen. One of you guys can start with some of those shout outs.
Angie, you want to start out?
Sure, why not? Okay, so from LaJewel Shields, I believe I pronounced that right.
Yeah.
First and foremost, I would like to start off. The first shout out goes to my daddy, Pastor Charles Shields, the father that raised me, to never give up on your dreams and to never let you go. So a shout out to him for being the best father ever.
Amen.
Amen.
All right.
So happy Father's Day to Pastor Shields. And then also from Ruth White, she says, I would like to wish Frederick White, my daddy, a very special, happy Father's Day. I love you, Daddy, for all that you have done and for everything you continue to do.
Amen. Amen.
Amen. Amen.
Go ahead, read another one.
Okay, and then Kanisha Kennedy, if I said her name right, to my loving and caring grandfather, Deacon Thomas Lynham. I just want to say thank you for being here and for never doubting me. Even though I have a child, you were still there for me, and I just want to say thank you for not giving up on me, and I love you.
From Janice De Jesus, she would like to say that her father was a very hard man to get along with, but she remembers sitting on the porch with him one night. It was a beautiful clear sky, and he showed her the shooting stars and the Big Dipper. She says that they just talked, and he's gone now, but she will never forget that moment. So she would like to wish a very happy Father's Day to him.
Amen.
Amen. From Makisha Joy Callahan Madison, that's my homegirl.
She got a tree name.
Yeah. To one of the greatest men of God I know. He is an awesome pastor, wonderful friend, and father, my dad. She says, "You are the greatest, Bishop Major Callahan."